Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the next episode of Joe Kelley Psychedelic Experience. It's your old pal Joe, checking in with you, saying, hey, how's it going? What's going on? You doing all right? Did you have a nice weekend? You gearing up for the holidays? I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope you're doing better than you ever thought possible. Nobody does that for you but me. Every Monday we do that, just for you. If you want to support the podcast, let's get the business out of the way. Go over to patreon.com/utilize shrooms. You can support the podcast over there. $5 a month. You get all the videos to the podcast. We're smoking weed over there on Fridays now. We're having a great time over on Patreon. We do the podcast on Monday, get you ready for the week. And on Fridays, we'll smoke a little doob together. Get you geared up for the weekend. Try and, get you excited to go fuck or whatever it is you do on weekends. Maybe you don't fuck. Maybe you just want to get high and go to church on Sunday. You can do that with me on Fridays. We do it together. Patreon.com. Utilize shrooms, people. Other than that, that's it. That's the business, man. Still got the Joe Kelley comedy shirts. If you want a shirt, hit me up. Let me know. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'll get you hooked up with one. I'll give you one just for subscribing to the Patreon. We can go that route if you want to now. If you sign up for that Patreon, I'll send you a shirt. Just let me know what size and where to send it, and I'll be happy. I got a whole bag of shirts, people. And I'm not on the fucking road right now, so I'm tired of looking at this bag of shirts. So if you want one, sign up for the Patreon, and I'll throw you a shirt. And if you don't want to sign up for the Patreon, you want a shirt, let me know. Hit me up. We can make something work out for you. Hell yeah, man. What's going on? Everybody, good week. Weed's almost legal now or something like that. I don't know exactly what happened. Was it the House that passed? Does it go from the House to the Senate? Is that how all that shit works, where they passed or they're trying to decriminalize cannabis? So whatever that means, I guess it's good. As much as I love weed, I just don't. Here's the thing about me loving weed is I clearly don't give a shit about the laws. If I cared about the laws, I wouldn't be getting high every damn day. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that this is progress, I guess, in the fact that the government is finally going, hey, we've been fucking up for the past 50 years. A lot of lives have been ruined. A lot of people have went to jail for bullshit. But we just want to let you know that now, in 2020, since the world's coming to a fucking end, we just want to let you know that we fucked up. So I just think it's a whole bunch of hoopla. And it's also the thing, it's like, okay, so you decriminalize weed, so it's not legal. You're just not a criminal if you had it, right? So why not just make it legal? Because it's like, where'd you get it from? It's not legal. You can't get it in, let's talk about Atlanta, since that's where I'm at. It's already decriminalized in Atlanta, right? So you won't go to jail for it, but it's like, where'd it come from? You could be making just so much more money, I think, if you just started producing the shit. And how do you backtrack all the people that have fucking wasted their lives, man? You can't give people time back to go, hey, listen, we were just kind of fucking around there. We realized that weed is not that bad. And the fact that it's been, how long has medical marijuana been a thing at this point in time? And now, all of a sudden, because everything is completely fucked, we want to talk about decriminalizing marijuana. Like, you ain't fooling me. You ain't fooling me with this nonsense to go, hey, we're going to decriminalize it. And then I've read a lot of people are saying that it probably won't get through. I don't know how politics works, people. Does it go to the House, to the Senate? A lot of people don't think it will get passed through the Senate. But we'll see. You know what I mean? It's good news, right? Everyone's going to be able to get high and not be viewed negatively by society. Thank God. Thank God this world is starting to make sense here. December, the end of the fucking year. Things are finally starting to come together a little bit, people. Isn't that good news? Isn't that good news that we're finally starting to get it together after this chaotic fucking year? But it's all good. You won't be considered a criminal more. But I don't know how the fucking law works. If it's decriminalized federally, couldn't it still be up to isn't it still up to the individual states to decide whether or not to decriminalize it? I don't know. I don't know how none of that shit works. Because it's decriminalized in Atlanta, but not Georgia. So you try and figure that shit out, what any of this means. To me, it does. I don't care. It never stopped me from getting high, ever. Decriminalized, or illegal, whatever. I handle my business. I don't give a shit. I see people getting on Facebook and Twitter and talk about this is progress and all this and that. And it's just a, bunch of idiots who are talking about it, getting so happy. They're like, oh, look, everyone can finally get high now. It's like, bro, I've been getting high. I don't know what the fuck everyone else has been doing to where you got to get, pre-approved by the government to fucking enjoy yourself. Fuck them. They don't know shit, I've been watching the news lately, people. That's what's been going on. That's how I know all about this decriminalization of marijuana, because I got a TV. Old Joe got a TV. How about that? I didn't buy it. I got it for free. There's great people. There's some great groups on Facebook, some neighborhood groups that just give free shit away. You can't sell anything, but they're like, hey, if you got stuff that you don't want and you want to give away, post it in this group, and somebody will come pick it up. So I went and got a TV for free, nice 32-inch, fucking whatever. It's not a smart TV. It's heavy as fuck for being a goddamn HD fucking whatever TV. It's surrounded by glass, so it's pretty fucking heavy. But I got the TV, and then I got the digital antenna. So I've been watching some local news, some local sports. Been watching the Laugh channel, Laff. Catching up on my Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith or Andy Griffin? I don't know. Great show though. A lot of game shows and shit. But it makes me, I haven't had a TV, right? I don't know if you people know this or not. I'm sure most of you probably have a TV if you're listening to this podcast. Most people do. But I haven't had my own TV since 2011. I think that's when the last time I had a TV was. So it's been almost 10 fucking years without a TV or without cable. I still will fuck around and watch shit on the internet. And when I go back home or visit somebody, I kind of get an idea of what's happening on television. But I haven't sat and watched it on my own, in my own home for quite some time. But I understand why everyone is, especially if you're watching Netflix and Hulu and all that shit. I mean, you still probably get ads and stuff like that. But regular television, I can see how people who watch that shit lose their fucking minds, man. Especially with the news. I've started watching the little news a little bit. Not because I want to know what's going on. I just want to know what they're saying. Because they're fucking with everybody. I watched, what was it? Inside Edition? Some shit like that. I watched the news for 5 fucking minutes. And all they were doing was just trying to fuck with people and scare them. Like, they were talking about the vaccine, the COVID vaccine or whatever. And they gave no information about it, about what's going into it. They didn't even say the company who is putting it out, that people are buying it from. They said nothing about the actual vaccine. In America, right, and that's the whole thing right now, it's going to England people, the English, European people, whatever, who the fuck ever, is getting the vaccine first. But the news is talking like we don't even have the vaccine yet. In the news, whatever the fuck I was watching was leading with the story that people are already on the streets, gangs, trying to steal the vaccine so they could sell it to you. And it's like, how fucking full of shit are you people? You know what I mean? We don't even have the vaccine in America. If we do, some people might be getting it right now. Some of the elite people, some people with a lot of money or whatever. But it's not open to the general public. And your lead fucking news story is talking about people are already going to steal it from you. You know, the gangs are out there. They're going to fucking round up all the COVID vaccines. And then do what with them? Sell loose vaccines to people one at a time? It's like, you guys are so full of shit, and it makes sense why everyone is out of their fucking mind in today's world, especially if you walk, because they're just fucking lying. They're just making shit up to scare you because they have to. Because you're not going to watch a story about what the fuck's going into the vaccine. Most people won't. But we probably should. You know what I mean? That should be the news story. Rather than talking about, hey, this thing that doesn't even necessarily exist right now. People are already trying to steal this thing that we don't fucking have. And it's like, no wonder everyone's off their fucking rocker. If this is the shit that people have been listening to, especially this year, because people ain't been leaving their houses, been glued on that TV, and this is the shit you're selling people. It's fucking disgusting, man. There's no information given, and they're just selling you fear. And it just makes sense why everyone's off their fucking rocker and hating everybody and terrified all the fucking time. They're selling you fear, and you eat it right up, man. I can't believe that was like the lead story is, hey, people were trying to steal the fucking vaccine that does not exist. I'd be out of my fucking mind too if I watched that shit all the time. It's mind-blowing. I don't know what they're trying to get at. I didn't get a handle on what the purpose of that news story was, because it didn't go anywhere. It was whatever, a minute and a half, 2 minutes of them going, hey, people were trying to steal this shit, and let's cut to an interview with this guy. And this guy's going, hey, they're going to try and, gangs, they're going to try and steal that shit. And it's like, okay, all right, now on to the Smuckers lady. You know, you fucking hammer them to death with fear, and then you follow up with some old lady making jelly. That's how the news works. It's so fucked up. Quit watching the news, people. You know, especially that whatever mainstream fucking bullshit. They just fucking lie all the time. I can't deal with it. I can't fucking stand it. I got that TV and I don't know fucking why anymore. Had it for 4 fucking days and already hate just about everything that's on. The only fun thing is like watching like old game shows, you know. They got that what is it? It's the Buzzer. I think it's the Buzzer channel. Buzzr. And it's, you know, you guys got to check that shit out. Unless you can't. I don't know if you have access to it unless you have a digital antenna. But man, Supermarket Sweep was the shit. Just people just running around a grocery store, picking out 8 Christmas hams. People don't need food. I just like that we were at that point as a country where we had the privilege to, make game shows out of having so much food. When some people got none, we're like, fuck it. We'll just build a mock grocery store, fill it with real food, and we're probably going to throw it. Maybe they donated it. I don't know what Supermarket Sweep did, but I've been enjoying some Supermarket Sweep. It's a good balance from the news. It's so fun. These people, man, there was this one episode of Supermarket Sweep. I swear to God, people have been dumb for a very long time, right? So the host asks this question about breakfast cereals. Like, what one has the least amount of calories? And he's like, fucking shredded wheat, Captain Crunch, or, whatever, Raisin Bran. And the one lady is like, shredded wheat. And the host is like, no, that's wrong. And then the other lady is like, Fruit Loops, or whatever the second one was. He's like, no, that's wrong. So the only one left is Raisin Bran, right? And they go to the third lady. The third lady's like, is it Fruit Loops? And it's like, you dumb motherfucker. It's like, how don't you understand? Like, you didn't listen to her maybe people were just nervous because they're on television. But it's so, that lady just said Fruit Loops, and they were like, nah, she's wrong. And you're like, what'd she say? She said Fruit Loops? I think it's Fruit Loops too. And it's like, you dumb motherfuckers. We've lacked education in this country for quite some time. And that's not even an education thing. That's just, I don't expect anybody to know what breakfast cereal has less calories than the others. But if there's a multiple choice fucking question and there are 3 answers you can pick from and 2 people go ahead of you and they both get it wrong and somehow you still get the fucking thing wrong, it's like, oh man. Just these dumb, man, I mean, you're not going on supermarket sweep because you probably have the brightest bulb in the box. Just fucking blew my mind, the lack of attention that people paid. And it wasn't even, it was 10 seconds, like your attention span. When was supermarket sweep on, people? Do y'all know? Was it the 80s? I don't know. I got no fucking idea. Hilarious, though. Fucking absolutely hilarious. I watched SNL last night just to try. I fucking tried, people. That show's dog shit. I can't help it. It's dog shit. It's not really funny. I don't know if they have a studio audience there, but even, I think they did have like a very small one, but even they weren't fucking laughing. I don't get how people could think that shit's funny at all or good. It's all just, especially now. And if you've listened to this podcast, I'm not I'm not involved in any political team. I'm not left, right, red, blue, or whatever. But it seems like a majority of the first half hour of SNL is just shitting all over Republicans and conservative people. And sure, they probably have every right to, but it doesn't seem like there's much of a balance to it. You know what I mean? It always seems like every time a Republican or someone who is on the right is portrayed on SNL, they're always some dipshit fucking asshole. And I'm not saying they aren't that at all. They are that. Every last one of them it is, but it's on both fucking sides. You know what I mean? So that's why I just think the show is just a fucking bunch of nonsense. They definitely have it's agenda based, it seems like, and the agenda ain't comedy anymore. I know that's for fucking sure. That show's dog shit, man. It's so fucking bad. And not just because it's mostly ladies on the show, that has nothing to do with it. The fact that they put 18 broads in every fucking sketch on there that just suck the life out of the room. That has nothing to do with it at all. It's poor writing. I think the writing has fell off on that show. I think that's what it is. Got nothing to do with having a bunch of women jammed down your fucking throat every half a second. Not at all, The whole first sketch was a period sketch. Whoever the host was, I can't remember his name. I'm not good with celebrities, people. You all know this. But I tried. I fucking tried to watch this shit. And I got nothing against periods, It's completely natural. I love ladies on their period, as a matter of fact. That's my favorite kind of lady, is one that is on her period. So it wasn't the subject matter of the sketch. I'm a gentleman. A lot of fellas out there are fucking grossed out about your periods, but I love them, ladies. I love when you have your period. Come on over. You don't want to leave. You don't want to go nowhere. You come on over to Joe's if you're ragging. I don't mind. Bleed all over the sheets. Who gives a fuck? Please don't. That's a bit much. Oh, knocking the mic around now. Holy shit, getting rowdy. Sorry about that. But anyway, the point is the sketch was just very unenjoyable. And the ending of it was just such a fucking, it built to nothing. You know what I mean? It was just such a, I don't know, even the 18 people that were there live, at some point the laughs just kind of died off. And it's like, what the fuck? What are we doing here exactly now? I guess trying to be funny? I don't know. I got no idea. Kate McKinnon, I don't understand the praise that she gets. I don't understand these people. Pete Davidson, everyone's going, he did a great job in the Santa Claus sketch. It's like, yeah, sure. He's a good dude. I've worked with Pete before. He was very kind to me years ago, man. I got nothing against the guy. I just don't like anything on SNL, and I can't help it. And I keep fucking trying to. The best thing that I've seen on SNL was Bill Burr. Because he's funny. You know what I mean? He's a funny dude who I enjoy. And the fact that he wasn't great in the sketches is what made it fun. And his monologue was great because he delivered it like a stand-up set. Whoever was fucking the guy who hosted last night, his monologue was shit. It's almost like he's never talked, by himself on a stage before. He was talking about last time he was on the show, some monkey tried to eat his face or something like that. And then they showed the clip, and it's like, bro, that monkey didn't try to eat your face. You're full of shit. You bent down. First of all, you bent down and got up in the monkey's face. So if you don't want a monkey coming at you, maybe stay the fuck out of the monkey's face, you know? That's 101. You know how you don't get bit? You know your face doesn't get bit by a dog? You don't put your fucking face in the dog's face. That's how you don't get bit in the face by animals, is you don't get up in their fucking ass like that. And it wasn't even, I think the monkey just kind of showed its teeth. It was a little chimp, not a monkey. But it just kind of showed its teeth, and then it leaned back. But this guy's whole monologue was like, that monkey tried to kill me. And it's like, bro, I think you're just a pussy and afraid of a monkey. Which you should be, you know. Chimps are known for ripping off man's testicles. They'll do it to each other, too. They'll rip off each other's balls, you know. So I don't fuck with chimps, people. I don't care if it's trained. Got a diaper on. I don't give a shit. For some reason, I feel like once you put a chimp in a diaper, people feel like it's safe to approach because they feel like it's like a big baby. But it's like that chimp will rip your fucking balls off. Ladies, I don't know. Maybe rip your uterus out or something like that. I don't know how female chimps attack each other. Maybe they just bite, you know. But male chimps will rip your fucking balls off. And that would have been a great SNL sketch, you know. Bring the chimp back, have him rip the guy's balls off, big laugh. You know what I mean? And he's bleeding, so it ties into the period sketch. You know, they should have opened with the period sketch, and like halfway through, that chimp comes out, rips the dude's balls off. So all the girls in the sketch are bleeding. He's bleeding too. Hilarious. I don't know why I'm not fucking a writer in this business. I should be getting paid so much money just for coming up. That's a great sketch that I just came up with. And still involved, you know, the original thing. Ladies can still be involved in it, you know. But you just add a man to it, and it'll be funnier. I'm not saying women aren't funny. What are you saying, Joe? I ain't saying nothing. I'm saying SNL is dog shit, and I can't stand it. And I don't care. I'm never going to be on that show anyway. Even if they invited me, I don't think I'd want to do it. You know? Got too much shit going on. I'm getting cramped up, man. Getting very, very cramped up. But, yeah, so the TV thing. I don't know if y'all watch TV, but quit fucking doing it. Quit watching the news. Quit watching SNL. You know. The only reason people say SNL is good is because other people tell them that it's good. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, that was a great sketch. And everyone's like, oh, that was a great sketch. It's like, you don't even fucking know. But anyway, who gives a shit about all that? Hey, man, here's just something real quick. In case if you're listening to this, well, that's the only way if you're listening to this. If anyone knows about fucking LLCs and S Corps, I'm trying to register because I keep getting this 1099 work. Here's the fucking thing, people, this past week. Let me tell you something, man. I've been talking about that job or trying to find like a at-home job or whatever for a few weeks now. I guess since like November 12th. It's been almost a month. But this past week, I just stopped looking for jobs and just started doing my freelance, you know, voiceover work, audio production, the shit that I've been doing for 13 years. Worked in radio for 6 and have just been doing all that. And all of a sudden fucking started picking up contracts and, you know, got a bunch of work done, man. Made more money last week than I did on unemployment. In a week, people. That's mind-blowing to me. I ain't done that shit ever, you know? That 600 was good. That 600 unemployment, but last week I somehow made more just by doing my own shit. But I'm trying to get everything registered so I'm not getting fucked on taxes. So if you're listening and you know anything about LLCs or S Corps or anything like that, hit me up. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can email me. I'm not josephkelley22@gmail.com. Email me. And because I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I looked at the IRS website and it's like, man, apparently you have to register like an EIN, which is some employer identification number. I think that's what it stands for. So I started to do that on the IRS website. And I got about 6 clicks in. And then the words start getting real fucking squirrely. So I just backed out. I was like, fuck, man, I don't need to be fucking this shit up. Started talking about having to go to the Secretary of State first, and then you get the EIN, and then you can register as an LLC. But it's also, I was reading where if you are a sole proprietor, the taxes come out of your total earnings. Whereas if you register as an S Corp, which is still an LLC, but it's not a sole proprietor. See, this is why I can't figure this shit out. But if you do an S Corp, I think you can give yourself a reasonable salary. That is the wording used in the official tax and government information is the word reasonable. So what the fuck? That's where it's like, oh, I get how people cheat the system now. I don't know how the system works just yet, but I'm trying to figure that out. But it's like, okay, if your company brings in $100,000 in a year and you want to give yourself a salary of 35,000, let's say 40, just for the sake of 40, or just to make it even, just for the sake of 40, what the fuck does that even mean? But you give yourself $40,000 and then you're only being taxed on that 40. The 60 is considered something else, but it doesn't get taxed if you're an S Corp or something like that. Basically, I'm just trying to look for a little bit of help in case you know anything. I've talked to a couple people, but it's all, I would just like to be able to have a chat with somebody or have someone give me kind of some direction or anything like that. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm trying not to fuck myself on taxes this year, or next year. I didn't file taxes this year. 2020 had me fucked up. And that's, working for comedy clubs and like smaller venues and shit, all of a sudden you're getting fucking 1099 forms I got like 8 of them last year, something like that, 6, 8. So I lost some of them motherfuckers, I ain't gonna lie. So I need a good tax man next year too, or a tax lady, a tax person, and we'll get all that shit figured out. Just anything. Anyway, if you fucking know anything about that, you can help old Joe out. Give me a call. Shoot me a text. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know. I'm trying to make this shit all official. You know what I mean? And I've also heard you can pay an accountant to help you out with it, but I've heard that is very, very, very expensive. So if you know any cheap accountants, maybe you are a cheap accountant. Maybe you can help me out. And I'll throw you a little bit of money too. Something like that. I don't know. We've got about a half an hour in here. Hell yeah. We're winding down here pretty soon. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Got a cut in the podcast there. Had an unexpected guest come up to the door. But we were about done anyway here. I was just kind of winding down anyway, so that worked out well. Not a terrible cut in the podcast. But let's get you the animal video clip of the week and get your ass on the way. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Oh, man. Couple videos this week. I don't know which one I want to talk about. A couple interesting ones. There's one that's kind of been pretty popular this past week of a sea turtle in the mouth of a shark. I really don't fuck with shark videos. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that with this podcast yet. I think we're 20 episodes in now, and I don't fuck with shark videos, man. I hate fucking sharks. I hate looking at them. They're terrifying creatures. They scare me to death. They absolutely do. I got a fucked up thing with sharks. Even when I was a kid, like, we had a swimming pool growing up, and it was like, man, if I got in that deep end and I went under the water and I closed my eyes, I would just think about a shark. Like, what's the word for it? The opposite of disintegrating, just magically showing up in the water and fucking me up. I just got a weird fucking fear of sharks, man. I hate them. I hate watching them. They're monsters. They're real life fucking monsters. As long as you don't go in the ocean, they can't get you. One day, though. One day evolution will take over and we'll have some land sharks and then we'll all be fucked. But if you haven't seen the video, it's pretty... I mean, I finally saw the end of it, but there's a sea turtle in a tiger shark's mouth, just like the back of it. And the sea turtle is fighting for its goddamn life, swimming, just trying to get away. And there's a couple guys in a boat, and the sea turtle gets to the back of the boat and starts like trying to climb up on the ladder, even tries to bite it with its mouth just to get away from the tiger shark. And whatever it did, whatever that rustling did, fucking around by the boat, it didn't get on the boat, but I guess the shark became uninterested because the sea turtle just kind of flipped away after it tried to get on the boat and slipped out of the shark's mouth, and the shark just kind of took off and went in the opposite direction. And then the guys who were, I saw the rest of the video today actually. I hadn't seen this part of it up until today. The guys who were in the boat ended up getting the sea turtle out of the water, out of the ocean, and put it on the boat for half a second. And then it looks like they just kind of put it back in the fucking ocean where they found it. Which, if they were trying to save the turtle, that's not a good move. But the comments I love the comments on the videos. Half the time, that's the reason to go watch these videos, is to watch the comments and talk about what people would have done if they were in that situation. And, some people are like, oh, why weren't you saving the turtle? You piece of shit, you're awful. I would have saved the turtle. Then some other people are like, why are you saving that turtle? Some people were pissed because they didn't do enough to save the turtle. And then other people were like, hey, you're fucking with that shark's food. Like, what are you doing in the middle of the ocean trying to save a turtle? That shark might be real hungry, and y'all are fucking with it. The comments on the videos are the best because people can't get along. Because some people are like, you're interfering in nature. And then other people are like, oh, you should have interfered even more. But I don't think the guys interfering necessarily would have changed the outcome of it. You know what I mean? It seemed like once that turtle kind of fucked around on that boat, it seems like the shark really became uninterested in the turtle. But live to see another day. Hey, that's a happy note if you're a turtle fan, and I guess a sad note if you're a shark fan, because there is a chance that, that tiger shark needed that meal, or would have maybe it died. There's a great, I think one of the fucking Planet Earth or some shit like that, where there's this polar bear that has been walking for miles and miles and miles and miles and hasn't had a meal in days, and then finally finds like I don't know if it's a herd or a pod of seals, but it is too weak to, or not seals, what are they, walruses, something like that. I think it was the walrus, the bigger ones, but it was too weak to take down a walrus, so it just laid down and eventually died, which may have happened to the shark because it didn't eat that turtle. Might have sank to the bottom or floated to the top or whatever it is. But a feel good animal video clip of the week if you're a fan of turtles. And if you don't care about turtles, there's a bunch of great videos you can watch of alligators cracking turtle shells and eating them. So there's all sorts of fun out there. Go check out the shark video and the turtle video. A lot of fun, man. Thanks for checking out the podcast, everybody. Appreciate you all checking in. I didn't get a guest on for later in this week, so we'll do 2 solo ones this week. I'll have another one coming for your Wednesday. We'll talk about the time on Wednesday, the podcast. I'll talk about the time I weighed almost 300 pounds, which is something I have never talked about really to anyone ever. So it'll be an interesting one. Anyway, thanks for checking out the podcast, man. Hope you had a little fun today. Hope you can get the week started on the right foot. Go out there, make some shit happen this week. Go make some money, get your dick sucked, get your spiritual dick sucked. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an actual physical thing, but go out there and fucking take control of the week, man. Monday, get the money, get paid, get yourself together, get running, get moving, stay motivated. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Patreon.com/utilizeshrooms if you want to check out the podcast. You can check out all the videos and shit over there at Joe Kelley Comedy, Instagram at Utilize Shrooms, on Twitter. Check me out. Thanks for supporting the podcast, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a little bit of fun. As always, I'll catch you all around. Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. And I'll check in with you all a little bit later in the week. Later.